right, so we're with PJ Bock. He's with Bock Fly Fishing. We're going to talk about the Yuba River. How you doing, PJ?
Oh, not too bad. How about yourself, Rick?
Doing great. Appreciate you kind of giving a report here. So what are the conditions like up there on the Yuba?
So the Yuba River, right now it's pushing, flow-wise, it's pushing somewhere in between like 12 and 1350 daily. So it's a little bit on the higher side, which is normal for this time of year. The water's crystal clear. I mean, it should be gin clear. Only time it ever really gets a little muddy is when we have a little bit of rain. And luckily in California, we don't have a whole lot of that right now. So, yeah, it's been fishing pretty good. The spawning is over, so the fish are kind of spreading throughout. They're not hanging out up so much in the top section, and you should be able to target them pretty much anywhere in the river right now.
Now, when you talk about those flows, give me a range of what is the kind of optimal flow, and then what this compares to right now from that.
So for wadeable fishing flows, I'm really looking somewhere between like the 600 to really, I kind of stop at 1250. That's kind of where I draw the line. Wade fishing, it makes it access a little bit more rough, but you can fish from a boat anywhere up to like 17, $2,000, depending on how colored up it is. Yeah, wading, it's a little high for wading, but you can still access as long as you're not trying to change sides. If you try and wade through the middle of a run or something like that, you might be a little bit deeper than before. Normally, that 16 is, like I said, on the high side. And that's for flows on the Yuba River itself. Now, as far as color on the Yuba River, I look at the flows coming from Deer Creek near Smartsville. And the flows coming from Deer Creek really dictate the color of the river. So if you have a higher flow coming from Deer Creek, the color is going to be a little bit more chocolatey, and if you have a lower flow, then it's going to be crystal clear. And I really like that the Deer Creek flows to be less than 60. That's kind of like prime optimal. If you're at 100 and it's on the drop, you can usually get some fish. But if it's going up, then usually it just means it's going to get muddier and muddier. So I usually wait for it to be on the drop, and it'll drop pretty much the day after it rains. So it rains, it'll shoot up, and then the day after it rains, it starts trickling back down.
Interesting. Okay, so you kind of combine the flow of the actual river, the Yuba itself, with this Deer Creek flow to kind of determine color.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Most of because of the Englebright Dam is where the river really starts for that wild trout section. Most of that water is going to be crystal clear because it's dam released. So you can't really determine how colored the river is going to be based on those flows itself. You have to look at some of the tributaries that it has coming in between the dam and where you start fishing.
Okay, and what does the hatch look like right now as far as what's out there, if anything, and then kind of how you're fishing it?
Yeah, so right now, it's tough. As far as hatches go, they're kind of sporadic. I would fish some PMDs, and both the yellow and pink Yuba is pretty well known for their pinky PMDs. So try fishing a pink, like a shoot, I got a list of flies here. Like a Parachute Adams in pink or yellow, like a pale yellow. You should be able to get some to rise to a caddis or two in the evening. And then, there's a salmon fly hatch on the Yuba. So those are not quite here, but they're going to show up any day now. So I would be, definitely not go to the river without having one of those in my box.
So right now, though, you're pretty much subsurface at this point. Because hatches are pretty sporadic.
Yeah, hatches are pretty sporadic. So most of the day I'm fishing subsurface. If there's some fish that are kind of showing themselves to me, I'll switch over to fishing dries, and I'll cast in their lane and see if I can entice them with a bug. But right now, yeah, I'm not going to be doing a whole lot of dry fly fishing. Most of it's going to be, that tight line Euro nymphing stuff. Do a little bit of indicator fishing in some of the bigger runs. And then, right now I would try swinging. Even though there's not a huge prolific bug hatch, those fish still readily take on a swung fly. So swing some emergers, swing some sculpin patterns, and see if you can get some on the swing too.
Perfect. Okay, cool. Thanks a lot, PJ. So we'll check in with you again to see where we're going later as the summer, although you're headed off to Alaska here for a couple of months. But we'll check in with you again when you're back and see where we're at and see what's changed up there on the river as we go forward. So appreciate the report. Yep. If anyone wants a guide up there on the Yuba, obviously PJ Bock's somebody that can really help out at Bock Fly Fishing. Let us know. We'll put you in touch with PJ so you can get up there and get onto some fish. He knows the area, is very skilled in that area, and then a walk and wade as well as drift boat fishing. So let us know. We'll put you in touch with PJ, and we'll see you right here next time on the Backcast.